Now, it doesn't matter if you spend $100 or $8,000 on a leather jacket. If it does not fit you properly, you are not going to look your absolute best in it. What's up everybody, George here from GP Lifestyle, and in today's video guys, I'll be showing you how a leather jacket should properly fit. As always gentlemen, there is a video summary with timestamps linked in the description if you guys would like to review certain points, and I'll also leave an Amazon link to the leather jacket that I'm wearing in this video in case you guys are interested in checking it out. Let's get started. Now, the first part of the fit that you want to nail is the shoulders. A couple of things here that you want to avoid are the drooping shoulders. Now this, for me, it looks completely awful because it just takes out any proportion that you have on your physique. Not only does it make your shoulders look super small, it makes your head and neck look super long, and the problem here is it'll also make the sleeves fit really poorly and make your arms look shorter because the sleeves are going to look too long. Another thing you want to avoid are shoulder nipples. This is when the jacket is too short, and right at the stitch where the shoulder turns into the sleeve, you're going to get nipples. And that, for me, again, is too short. If you want the best fit in your shoulder region, what I personally recommend is when you throw on the jacket is to look where that sleeve stitch is. If it's right here, right at that bony ridge on your shoulder, for me, that is the perfect fit because that is going to give you the most proportional look. Because if it's, again, too high, you get that weird nippling, and if it's too low, you should get droopy, sloppy shoulders. But here, if it's right at the edge of the humerus or your arm bone, that is going to give you the best fit because it's going to build in those traps. Is going to make your shoulders look broader. It's actually going to help you get a better fit throughout the sleeves. So now that brings to how the jacket should fit throughout the sleeves, and where I personally like to start is right at the bicep. And what you want to make sure here is that it is snug, but then again, it is not too tight or too loose. You want to have a nice balanced fit where it gives you enough motion and again doesn't constrict any movement, because once you start constricting movement, it just feels uncomfortable to wear it. Even though the jacket looks amazing and you spent a lot of money on it, you're not going to wear it if it doesn't fit the absolute best. Now when it comes to sleeve length here, it is going to be a little bit of a mixed bag because you're going to deal with guys who are different heights. But what I personally recommend is when you put the jacket on, relax, let the sleeves hang, and what you want to make sure is that it does not go past your knuckles. If it goes past your knuckles, the jacket is too long and you may want to opt for a different size, or you may actually want to go get it adjusted later on. Now if you're a taller guy, the sleeve length is actually probably going to be a little bit shorter on you, so just make sure it doesn't go so high up your wrist where you have a bit of forearm exposure. That is just too short and it looks like you're wearing a size that's too small. Now again, if you're a shorter guy or you're wearing the wrong size, just make sure it doesn't go past your knuckles. Just keep it in that space between the base of your hand and your knuckles, and you should find the best fit for you. It will vary from person to person, but I think as long as it's within that range from your knuckles to your hand, you should get the overall best fit. Now on to how the leather jacket should fit across your chest, and what I personally recommend here is you got to try it on both zipped and unzipped. Start off with unzipped because a lot of the people like to wear like jackets unzipped because it just looks pretty cool. And what I personally recommend here is get your arms into a 90-degree little robotic stance and give a hug. Move it up, move it across your chest, and then you will start to see how much movement you actually have. If there's no restricted movement, probably fit you pretty good. A little bit of restricted movement, you're still in the good range, but if it's too restricted, it feels like it's going to tear or rip. The jacket is too tight. Now you want to do this test again with the jacket zipped up, because when a leather jacket when it's zipped up, it kind of constricts a lot of movement across the chest, and you want to make sure that it doesn't constrict too much, because sometimes you want to wear the jacket zipped up. Maybe it's at nighttime, it's a little colder, you want to wear it with a different kind of outfit. You want to make sure here that even if you wear it zipped up, you're still going to get a fair bit of movement that is not so constricted and not so loose, just in case you want to wear it both zipped up, because it will really suck. You have a jacket you can only wear open, you can't zip it up because you're afraid you might tear it or it's going to look super tight on you. Now on to how the jacket should fit through the waist, and with leather jackets, the thing is, it is okay here to have a bit more snug fit. Since leather is a thicker material, if you're a bigger guy, it's going to hide some rolls, and I personally think when you wear a leather jacket zipped up through the waist, it should be a bit snug and a bit fitted, because by default it's going to give you that tapered waist that every guy wants to have. And I feel like here it's okay for it to be a bit tighter, but if you feel like you can't get any rotation through your waist when it's zipped up, again, it's too tight. But then again, it's okay for here to be a bit more snug, be a little bit closer to the body, because that's how they were designed, to where they were made to accentuate the male physique. And I personally think if it's snug around the waist, that can be pretty good. It'll change with what you wear underneath. Like I'm wearing a hoodie right now, so it may be a bit tighter, but I know if I wear a t-shirt, it'll fit perfectly. So that's another thing you want to take into consideration. What you're wearing underneath can change how it fits through the waist. But if it's a snug to fitted fit, you're in the clear. If it's too loose, then it's just going to make you look extra wide, which is not how you really want to wear a leather jacket. Last thing is how long the leather jacket should be. Now, the sizing will vary ever so slightly for dudes that are different heights, if you're short, regular height, or tall, but ultimately they're going to end right at the top of your zipper, all the way to the top of your waistband, depending on how tall you are. And this for me is the perfect length for a leather jacket, because these again are meant to be worn a little bit shorter, and then again they're not meant to be super long jackets. And I personally think no matter how tall you are, if you're in that range between the top of your zipper to the top of your waistband, you have a really good length for a leather jacket that's going to really accentuate your upper body. And that's it for me today, guys. That is how a leather jacket should fit on a man. If you guys like this video, please drop us a like and subscribe to the channel for more men's lifestyle content such as style, grooming, dating, relationship advice, and overall confidence building videos. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope to see you in the next video. Peace.